All right, back for more Duskmourn drafts. This set has thrown everything I've thought, all my heuristics for limited, completely out the window, and I've had to totally change how I evaluate cards. Removal is barely even good. Solid filler creatures are no longer of any worth. Stuff that's expensive is generally not good either. Everything comes down to value generating engines, resource generators. They're better than anything else. Don't take gold cards as your first pick. Out the window. Go ahead and take gold cards first pick. All right, Tale of Tamios are rare. Tale of Tamio is terrible, unfortunately. Oblivious Bookworm's pretty good, as is Rite of the Moth if you can build around it. But I think the Bookworm is in general just going to be this more solid card. It's also cheaper. It's also in a better color combination as far as I know. I think blue is my favorite color in the set for limited. Blue-green Manifest deck. Other solid cards in the pack. So it's basically there's this one, Rite of the Moth, and then Meat Locker is probably the next best one. Fleshbrower is also decent. Ooh, Brood Spinner. Another value generator. So there's that. There's Fear of Exposure. There's Withering Torment and Glassworks and Trapped in the Screen. But again, I think you're just better off doing value generation. Now, this is a gold card that is only one of the two colors that we picked, but I think we can build Sultai as long as we do it early. And Manifest and Delirium, of course, go pretty well together. All right, Fear of Isolation is pretty good. There's also Moldering Gym Weight Room, which is both a manifester and a fixer if we're going to be multiple colors. But Fear of Isolation has been pretty good. And when you're unsure about which card to take, you generally default to the cheaper one. But again, that's a draft heuristic, and I'm not even sure that that's still correct. And rooms in this set have been just extraordinarily better than everything else. Although Fear of Isolation pairs really well with manifest cards. It's also an enchantment creature, which is also relevant for Delirium. I'm going to take the room. I feel like rooms are just so much better than a lot of the other stuff in the set. Ooh, Cryptid Inspector, which is great for all of our face-down related stuff. Now, normally, I would say, well, Enable the Screen is basically a 1-mana removal spell. But in this set, take the stuff that generates value. Peer Past the Veil, or we can just take Manifest Dread. It's a sorcery, which we need for different card types. It manifests, which is relevant. There's also Patchwork Beastie, which helps us just get to all of our mill stuff. Well, this is an artifact. I'll go ahead and take Patchwork Beastie. It's cheaper. It's bigger than this on average. Okay, so this pack doesn't have a lot that we can take. So it's basically just Watchdog, and that's it. Boros deck open. Dual land that's in colors that we don't care about, so that's whatever. Well, 2-drop, it's solid, it surveils, it helps us do the thing we need to do. We'll take that one. I'm surprised this is this late in the pack. How open is red? Anyway, Anthropede is just complete garbage, so I'll take the Painter Studio. Maybe red's just completely open, because this should not be going this late. Rite of the Moth is also still in the pack. And nothing else here even really compares to just taking this, even though, yes, we have to splash white and 2 black sources for it. But again, things like this are just so much better than anything else you can take, so we'll take Rite of the Moth. Another Rite of the Moth. Wow. All right, well, Rite of the Moth it is. Another Cryptid Inspector. Take it. So, yeah, we're going to have to prioritize getting fixing, but besides that, this is going pretty well so far. Fear of Immobility or Rat or Shepherding Spirits. I think Shepherding Spirits, it's a way to fix for the white that we need, and it puts a big creature in the graveyard. So take this one. Fear of Immobility or another Shepherding Spirits. Wow. All right, take another one of these, I guess. Rampaging Soul Rager, probably not playing that. And then Midnight Mayhem, it was the last card in the pack. That should not be the case. So it's kind of a toss-up what we're even doing. The fact that these 2 cards wheeled as late as they did, the Mayhem one is just like inexcusable. Jolly Balloon Man and Hedge Shredder. You may mill 2 whenever it attacks. Whenever 1 or more lands are put into your graveyard from your library, put them onto the battlefield tapped. And it's a 5/5 that you can crew. And then Jolly Balloon Man, which is another off color. It requires that we have like ETB triggers. Now, aside from these 2, there's really nothing else I want. Like, Watchdog's okay, Flood Pit's Drowner's okay, but that's basically it. So this pairs up a little bit better with Manifesting, because we can just dump lands into our graveyard, and it is just a big creature. Like, all our small guys can crew this into a 5/5. Also, if we get any cards with Survival, we can use this. So I'll take this. Reluctant Role Model. I don't think we can take that. Man, there's another Midnight Mayhem in here and Scorching Dragonfire. Wow. If I go the Midnight Mayhem route with the Painter Studio, it's like I'm completely switching decks. I guess if I wind up being that deck, I would have Reluctant Role Model in that deck anyway. This one's kind of tough. I think I'll take Reluctant Role Model. Leyline, okay, that's not relevant. So what is relevant is Fear of Being Hunted. Oh, Wickerfolk Thresher's in here too. This card's great. Essentially draws a card with every attack if you've got Delirium online. And is pretty big. Yeah, so it's basically that. If we were the aggro red deck, Fear of Being Hunted would be the pick. And if we were more black, we could take Loner, which is also good with like putting giant things in the graveyard for Red of the Moth. But we know we're going to play Wickerfolk Thresher, so let's take that one. All right, we've got the Skull Crab. And then kind of nothing else here. We're not very blue. The thing is, there's not that much better. I guess I could just take the dual land. I don't even know that I'm going to wind up in blue. It's the Bookworm's the only blue card I have so far. I also like how the crab pairs with the Shredder, although we don't even have that many enchantments. All right, I'll just take the dual land. All right, what do we got here? Another Cryptid Inspector. Well, yeah, let's get 3 of them. Why not? Meathook Massacre 2, and it's this late. Although quadruple black is going to be quite the ask, but we're not taking anything else. Okay, what do we got? Dual land in red, which is fine. There's also Patchwork Plaything. It's probably the best card here aside from the dual land. The only card I would actually want to splash is the Painter's Studio, and I wouldn't want to splash it enough to take the dual here. So let's just take Plaything. There is also Emerge from the Cocoon, but without more big creatures, and we already have 2 Red of the Moths anyway. A dual land, and we actually kind of want this. All right, dual land it is. All right, we got another Watchdog. We're going to take that. So let's see. Nothing here is that great. I guess Hardened Escort. Okay, Cynical Loner it is, because we're not taking the other 2. All right, I got to figure out what colors I am. I think I'm mainly green and white splashing black, although, man, that's going to be hard with quad black and the Meathook Massacre. So maybe I could be black and green splashing white? I'm not sure. The only bit of fixing we have right now is these 2 lands, neither of which are even black. Okay, Valgavoth. All right, then, we're taking that. Holy crap, is that good with Red of the Moth. There's also a Shroud Stomper, and just like a million other good cards, right? Trapped in the Screen. Well, Valgavoth it is. I guess we're sliding over to black. If I want to play these Rites of the Moth, do I have to cut all the green cards? That'd be really horrible at this point. Or I don't think we can play this. So take Valgavoth. Okay, not taking that. Let's see. All the best cards here are blue. Stay Hidden, Stay Silent. Flood Pit's Drowner. What else do we have? Fear of Surveillance and white. I guess Fear of Surveillance. There's also this dual land, but again, it's the wrong colors because we don't really need to splash blue. So we'll take Fear of Surveillance. Okay, what do we have? Gremlin Tamer. Can't take that. There's Surgical Suite Hospital Room. There's also a green-white duel, which sounds like the kind of thing we're going to need to play here. Because I don't think we can cut all these green cards. We're at 23 playables. If we cut everything that's green, aside from the spider, we're losing 3, 7, 8, 9 cards. Yeah, that's too much. Unless we literally pick up all of our other playables in this pack. Take the dual land. Winter is not good, so we can ignore that. Let's see. There's Optimistic Scavenger. I don't know how many enchantments we have. Not many, right? We've got Moldering Gem, and is that it? We have exactly 1 enchantment, so this isn't even good. So then that leaves Attack in the Box, Glimmerlight, or the Rat. Yeah, I don't really... I guess Attack in the Box. I'll take that one. Another Reluctant Role Model. Well, we will reluctantly take it. Because there's that one. There's also Spectral Snatcher. Spectral Snatcher is real tempting because it's another card that... It's a big creature that puts itself in the graveyard, and it's a better creature to do that with than Shepherding Spirits is. And we need black sources, but Reluctant Role Model. Okay, Hardened Escort. Oh, another Cynical Loner. I imagine a great way to win these drafts is going to be Loner, attack, trigger, put Valgavoth in the graveyard, reanimate it. There's also Egotist and Hardened Escort, which are both reasonable picks, but we'll just take... Oh, wait, there's also this green one that can fetch lands. Ugh. I don't think we're going to be able to cut green. Yeah, let's just take this one. Another Midnight Mayhem, so just nobody gives one single fuck about the Boros deck in this draft. There's Exercise, which is fine. There's also Cult Healer, which we can probably never trigger. I guess I'll take Exercise. All right, Keys to the House absolutely has to be the pick we need to fix. Shroud Stomper made it around. All right, well, we got another gigantic creature that we can reanimate. Let's see, Acrobatic Cheerleader or Final Vengeance. I say Cheerleader. So all of that, like, manifesting stuff, that just didn't come together, eh? Hardened Escort, take this one. We may actually be able to cut green, I'm not sure. Take the Rat. Take Bale Merkleech. We have no enchantments. I still think we take it over Given to Violence. All right, and then a land. So we're at 33, and we're cutting 8 green, 9 green. All right, let's figure this out. So if I cut all the green cards, we're at 33 and we're cutting 11. So we'd be one playable short, although I don't actually have to cut them all. I could keep like one Brood Spinner, because part of the value of the green cards is all of these cryptid inspectors, but they all require manifesting, and the only things, yeah, whenever face down permanent control enters, or whenever this or another permanent turns face up, and the only cards that we have that do that right now are Moldering Gym, so Weight Room on 6 mana, and then I think that's it. I think everything, I don't think there's a single other manifest card here. So these are just 2/3 with Vigilance, basically. Then this is fixing and this is fixing, but the fixing is only relevant because the green cards are in the deck. And then there's a bunch of like other cards here, the Head Shredder, and then like Wickerfolk and Brood Spinner are good. So what if we cut all of this? Now we're at 24 cards. So presumably, let's see, how many different types do we have, I guess? Artifact, various creatures, sorcery, sorcery, sorcery. So 3... 1 instant. It's probably just correct to have Wickerfolk be the last card in the deck. We have to splash something off color regardless, because otherwise we just straight up don't have enough playables. Oh wait, the Rat's Manifest. I still think that's not enough to justify these Cryptid Inspectors, because that's only 3. And 2 of them are creatures that have to die. So I'm not against having this as the 23rd card, but what I am against is having to play a forest so that Keys to the House can fetch it. Now, I could play a green-white duel, but then I can't fetch a green off of Keys. All right, so colors, but we have some very, very expensive black here with the Meat Hook Massacre. So the Shepherding Spirits sort of get around the need for planes, kind of, so we can go, what, 8-8-1 with a single forest, or 7-9-1, but then we only have 7 white sources for all these 2-drops that we have. Maybe that's okay. So if I say add basics, so like that. I don't want to play the Hushwood Verge because it defaults to green and doesn't produce white until we get a plains. And I don't really want to play the Cornfield because I only have 1 single green card in my deck, and I don't want 2 of my land, like I don't want one of the lands to be a tap land. All right, I guess we're doing this. How much removal do we even have? We have 1 Exercise, 1 Cease from Slumber, and then I mean, the Meat Hook Massacre technically can make them sack stuff, but like, come on, let's not count that. All right, well, let's do the thing. On the play for round 1. All right, perfect. Keep land go. Except, obviously, we have the Wickerfolk Thresher in our hand, but whatever. All right, which one's the better one if it's not intercepted? Probably Role Model. Yeah, Red Gremlin. Sure, we can offer the trade. Combat, swing, no blocks. All right, trigger. Let's give it flying so that it can keep getting in. And then I could cycle play a land pass, or I could just play another creature. Let's play Loner. Oh, Grixis, you say? All right, Gremlin gets to attack. We can't block it. Ooh, we drew our land. All right, combat. Stopping in beginning of combat. Does that mean Drowner's coming? Attack with both. No, they just went on the stack. All right, well, give this thing a +1 counter. Resolve this ability. Let's go put Valgavoth in the graveyard. And then cast Hardened Escort. Entity Tracker, sure. Unable to scream on our guy, they draw. Alright, plays a land. Swings with both creatures. Alright, no blocks. Gives lifelink to the Gremlin, sure. Well, we're just drawing a bunch of planes, so go to combat. Attack, except with this guy. Triggers. Let's give our guy lifelink. And then let's put, I don't know what in the graveyard. Is it just going to be, I guess Rite of the Moth so we can get to it at some point? Is there any other reason to do it? Yeah, let's just put Rite of the Moth in the graveyard. All right. And then we can play, this is 6 mana to flashback. So let's play Cheerleader and then over to the opponent. Unable to scream on our other guy over here. Okay. Fear of being hunted. Sure. So we have to block Fear of being hunted, and then we take 4. Cycle Shepherding Spirits. Well, I guess we go to combat. I'm at very least attacking with Role Model to get the lifelink. Maybe both of them. I feel like if I can just survive to get rid of the Moth out, I'm good. So let's just attack with Reluctant Role Model. Swing. So get the +1 counter, and then over to the opponent. Plays another land. How in the world are we being out-aggroed by 3-color Grixis? Vengeful Possession to steal our guy. Okay. Discarded a land. So block here, here, All right, block here, and then we're taking 4, 6, 8. Let's just block here so we don't get killed by, I don't know, turn inside out or something. I guess I should have traded with Entity Tracker, actually. So they get to put the counter on it, so I guess you what? Just put an irrelevant counter on it, like another flying counter or something? Puts a flying counter on it, yeah, okay. Nashi. All right, discards a land. Back to us. All right, Right of the Moth on Valgavoth. Go to combat. Swing here. Trigger, get a +1 counter. All right, so technically Reluctant Role Model can move finality counters from my own guys to them. That's interesting. Okay, I can't block because both their guys have Menace. So this thing, it will exile all the cards that go to the graveyard. So we exiled Clockwork Percussionist Island. Valgavoth, during your turn, you may play cards exiled with it. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equals its mana value rather than pay its mana cost. Okay. Game 1, and then we actually have literally no sideboard because every single card that we can play is in our main deck, including a card that's off color. I'm actually wondering if I wouldn't be better off just not even having this and taking the green out and just playing 18 lands, since our deck just demolishes in the late game. So what if I just take out Wickerfolk and Forest and just add in 1 Plains, 1 Swamp? That might actually just be better. Swamp, Swamp, Rat, and then we can't play any of our white cards. So this hand just completely falls apart if we don't find a Plains. So yeah, let's mull this. All right, keep and put back the Rat. Yeah, the Rat's our worst 2-drop here. Okay. Opponent plays Nashi. Well, Role Model. Over to them. What does it get back? Enchantments and Legendaries. So they milled Entity Tracker land, and then gets a counter on Nashi. Unwilling Vessel. Ooh, another Reluctant Role Model. Well, I can't not attack, so if they want to trade, sure. Combat, swing. No blocks for their part. All right. Resolve this and put a +1 counter. Then let's play another Role Model. Over to them. We are heavily losing the race, unfortunately. Unable to Scream. All right, no blocks. 3. Milled over Fear of Being Hunted, Dragonfire, land, and so they get Fear into their hand. So Fear comes out next turn, and we have to block it. So if I hit here or there, so I want to have a creature out ahead of time. So Fear of Surveillance, combat, swing here. No blocks on their part. All right, let's get Lifelink this time, and let's play Cheerleader, pass. Dashing Bloodsucker, not the Fear. Okay, so now we don't have any good attacks. Isn't that a shame? So if they go Fear next turn, we have to block. That's fine. All right, let's play Attack in the Box. Over to them. All right, here's Fear of Being Hunted. Triggers both of these guys. So what are they attacking with? These do. All right, so let's have Cheerleader on the Fear, and then we'll just take the other one. Yeah, that's fine. Damage. Our turn. All right, well, combat. Swing. Yeah, swing here. So block there. Sure. So then death, we'll put the counters on this, on Attack in the Box. Yeah, we'll put it on Attack in the Box. So they get a 2/2 Spirit. We get counter lifelink. Play this. I don't think I can afford to do nothing, so let's Right of the Moth, the reluctant guy. All right, back to them. If the situation gets really dire, I can suicide attack my Fear of Surveillance to just try to surveil into a bomb. So they attack with the Flyer. We cannot block them. Bedhead Beastie. Yeah, we just don't have any good attacks. This is such a shame. Well, let's see. I play Hardened Escort, then they attack with, let's say, everything, potentially. Wait, how do the finality counters work? Because it gets exiled, right? It doesn't go to the graveyard, so we can't move the finality counter onto anything. All right, Hardened Escort. Back to them. They're attacking with the Spirit Token and Bedhead Beastie. Okay, so if they have removal, we get blown out, but what can we do? So this is a 6, so we go here, 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 and then it can only kill one of them. So block, block, block. Yeah. Reluctant Role Model, trigger, put the counters on Hardened Escort. Opponent casts Fear of Infinity. Okay. Well, it drew another swamp. So let's go to combat. Let's attack with Fear of Surveillance, Hardened Escort, and then we'll make this indestructible, and then trigger the Surveil. Exercise does not really help. I mean, I guess I can exile the Fear of Infinity, but like, how helpful is that really? It's death in a few turns. All right, yeah, so bend that, then resolve this. So they can double block this guy if they want, and then we kill Nashi. No, they're just gonna bump it, sure. So life, swamp, and I'm not gonna write anything, so back to them. I wonder if they're just flooded, because it seems weird that they're not playing anything else. No, I guess not. All right, unable to Scream here. That's a shame. Swing out. Ugh. So let's put this in front of here. Actually, I guess it's more important that they don't get to draw cards. So if I double block here, I take 8, I go to 5. Yeah, double block Nashi. So that way they get no Nashi trigger, and then we're not completely dead because we're going to 5 life, so we can still survive the flyers attacking us. It also puts Reluctant Role Model in the graveyard, so if I absolutely have to, I can, right? Okay, well, we're just drawing lands, just non-stop lands. So the problem is if I attack to get lifelink, then on the backswing, we're going to take too much damage. I can't just do nothing, though. So let's say I go swing here. I gain 3, I'm at 8. I have 1 blocker. I Rite of the Moth, attack in the box. All right, combat, swing, trigger. So gain some life, then we trigger this one. Let's put a flying counter on it. And then we'll Rite flashback on attack in the box so that we can double block Nashi, I guess. Or do I just do role model and just take the hit, as bad as that is? Now I have to block something. So I have to block here, go to 1. All right, get back attack in the box. All right, well, I mean, we're at 8 lands. We can almost even cast a Valgavoth. We can cast anything that we draw except Valgavoth. Opponent immediately goes to combat, swings with everything. All right, we're going to block Nashi so they can't draw. They get to kill our Fear, that's fine. Damage, we're at 2. Opponent plays a land. We drew another land. Jesus Christ. All right, now what? I attack with Hardened Scales to gain life, or with Hardened Escort to gain life. Then they attack. So we're at 5. This is lethal. And then this has Menace, and then we just die, right? Actually, no. I can block the flyer now. So I go... I have to gain life here, though. So then I swing, go to 5. Then they attack, and I go block one of your flyers, block here, and I still take lethal. Boy, is that frustrating. All right, combat, swing. I mean, I can't do anything else, so it is what it is. So did we both just draw lands, like 3 lands in a row back to back on both sides? That's pretty awful. Yeah, okay. They're attacking with everything. We're dead. I don't know what the heck else I could have done there. Not Surveilled Away Exercise to exile Fear of Infinity. I mean, with 18 lands, we are slightly more likely to flood. All right, on the play for game 3. Okay, well, this is certainly a hand. Keep. Swamp, go. Play, ooh, Reluctant Role Model. Okay, play this, play Reluctant. Back to them. So I guess if we can connect with it, the first thing we do is give it flying so that we can keep connecting with it. Aw. Oh well. Swamp, Rat, go. Nachi. Okay, play this. I would like to be able to multi-block it, so cast Escort. Back to them. Entity track. They're main phasing. Oh, because they're going to enable the Scream. I was like, why are they main phasing this? Because they're going to do that. Yeah. And I have to... All right, I guess I block here. Actually, they don't even have to kill the rat, right? They can just choose to kill our guy. Boy, is this frustrating. All right, let's just keep them from getting more cards. So let's block here. And then if they don't want to give us the manifest, yeah, okay. And it's a plains. So here's another rat. Go. No effects from them. Ooh, Rite of the Moth. Well, I don't want to use that on a Hardened Escort, so I'm just going to pass now. And they did nothing. And, another plains. All right, well, back to them. So we're doing a big staring contest now. They're not doing anything either. Ooh, keys to the house, keys to the house, keys to the house. Go grab a swamp, play the swamp. I could play Meat Hook right now, or I could wait a turn and make them sack. 7, let's wait. All right, they hit a 5th land. Will they actually use it for anything? Apparently not. I really don't like them not casting anything. Let's just pass again, and then we'll end step try to seize, kill their entity tracker. Unwilling Vessel. Okay. All right, attempt to murder entity tracker. It instantly resolved, so that tells me they don't have... Oh my god. 5, 8, okay. Meat Hook. Da, 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 da. X is 2. Take this. I will sack Role Model Rat. Trigger, 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 trigger. Trigger, 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 trigger. All right, they take damage. They take damage. And resolve these ones. I would like to pay 3. I'd like to pay 3. Manifest trigger. Put attack in the box into play? Sure. Combat. Attack. Opponent. Cast Fear of Infinity. Well, I've drawn a land, and that's a Valgavoth, so, I mean... Combat, swing, trigger, get flying. Here's Valgavoth. Oh, this is so absurd. All right, well, that's that. On to the next one. Round 2 on the play. Okay, mulligan. All right, I guess we keep. Tap land from our opponent. Another tap land of a different color combination. All right, let's cycle this. Back to them. So at this point, I'm not cycling anymore. Cursed Windbreaker. All right, Patched Plaything. Go ahead. Opponent casts Wicker Folk Thresher. Yep. Oh, I forgot to update our deck. I forgot to update our deck before we joined. Oof, that's rough. All right, well, we're not winning the race, so I can at least force them to move the Windbreaker over if they want to attack with Thresher. Oh, they just have a kill spell. Excellent. All right. Meat Hook, and we can't cast that either. All right, Shepherding. Cast this. Shepherding Spirits. Do we have no green lands? No, I just forgot to switch it back to the version that has 18 lands. All right, so trade there. Well, I guess now we have green. Cryptid Inspector. Flesh Burrower. Yuck. All right, block here. So if we draw a swamp, we can Meat Hook for 2. That's something. Or not. Are any of these creatures actually big enough for us to hit? No, they're not. All right, well, we're dead. All right, so get this out of here. Get this out of here. Add Plain Swamp. All right, on the play. All right, a better hand. Keep. Play. We drew Valgavoth. Play the Leech. So 2 cards in our hand that we're way a ways from casting. Combat. Attack with Leech. All right, its opponent takes. Play the Rat. Scorching Dragonfire the Rat. Sure. Windbreaker. All right, I'm not going to exercise the Windbreaker. I need to try to kill a bigger creature, so let's just attack with Balemerc Leech. Oh, they're blocking. All right. It was a land. Opponent casts. Valuable Slayer. I am... Oh, man. All right, well, can't kill it, so just pass. Threats around every corner. Wow, we literally... The exercise just apparently fucking sucks. We just can't hit anything of value right now. We need to kill their creatures, and it just can't kill them. And it's a sorcery. All right, well, this isn't actually good. So play this. Back to them. This is basically a mold of 5, because we just can't cast either of these spells. Windbreaker on Slayer. Then they can just attack, and we can't block. I don't know why they're not attacking with this manifest creature. I guess just to make it so that we can't attack them back. Hey, a swamp. All right, if this is some huge thing, then I guess whatever. Combat. I guess it's holding them back right now, so I guess I just don't attack with it. I really feel like exercising the Windbreaker is just wrong. Yeah, let's pass. Break down the door, Manifest Dread. And then they get another thing. All right, well, we do have to block if they attack with everything. Yeah. First strike's going to itself. All right, I think this thing is at least 2/2, so we'll block this. All right, we need to draw a swamp. It was a ticket booth. Bashful Beastie, yuck. Time to draw a swamp. Oh, come on, they have another play? Oh, they're just moving it, sure. Time to draw a swamp. Yes, we drew a swamp. I think I actually have to exile this and then Meat Hook for X is 1. Yeah, so exile the Bashful and then Meat Hook. Done. Boom. Sack a guy. We're 1 land away from Valgavoth. Hey, we have a mountain. They will sorely regret giving us that mountain. Ho, 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 ho. What now? Tap another untapped creature you control against indestructible. 5 mana. Creatures you control at plus X, where X is the greatest power. Ugh. Thankfully, Valgavoth will stabilize us here. We're at 3. All right. Valgavoth. I guess we drew a land anyway, but... Valgavoth. How much mana do they have? 5... They can almost do it twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, if they have another land, we're dead. Also, if they just have a removal spell, they can sack three things and still kill us. Oh my god, they did have another land. Come on. So now they just make their guys huge. One of the guys has first strike, and I'm forced to block that guy so we don't just die. And then we die from the other guy. Such nonsense. Uh-huh. I really hate abilities like this. Like, why does this scale up? Wait, they're just going to attack with one of them? That makes no sense. All right, block. I mean, we're going to survive a turn. Yeah, I'll pay the life and get it back. Wait, what? How did I die? Oh, because I had to pay the 3 to get it back. Okay. Well, we were dead anyway. I really, really hate abilities that you can just sink as much mana as you want into, because then it's like, well, if it's late in the game, what are you supposed to do? Like, Tyvar already at bare minimum +3s your team, which would already be incredibly difficult to block. But if your opponent can do it twice, then there's absolutely no way that your team can be able to block them. They also become infinite mana outlets that just let you go, oh, I just make infinite mana and then I make my team infinite power and then you lose. I fucking hate Most Valuable Slayer too. Like, so there's a number of different creatures in this set that are like low power, high toughness creatures that when you attack, you get an ability, and it's Slayer, Clammy Prowler, and Hardened Escort. You know what the difference is? Clammy Prowler is a 4 mana 2/5, and Hardened Escort's a 3 mana 2/4. But Clammy Prowler and Hardened Escort, you have to attack with them in order to trigger their ability. It's not just attacking with anything. And they can't give their ability to themselves. They have to give it to something else, which means your opponent can block them and actually trade and prevent you from constantly making something unblockable or indestructible. But for whatever fucking reason, Most valuable escort or most valuable slayer is exempt from any restrictions. It triggers when you attack, even not itself, and if it attacks, it can give itself the first strike. I don't understand. It's pattern breaking and it's miserable play pattern wise. Anyway, match 3. Okay, we have no black mana, and we have... Oh my god, I forgot to switch out the green again. Fucking Christ. I really wish Moto would switch back to the deck screen in between games. I don't think I can keep this. I have 2 cards I can't even play, so Molt. Alright, keep this. Chuck, I don't know. Bale Merkleech. Flood Farm Island. Alright, let's play Rat. Another 3-color deck. Or this is just here. No, it's 3-color deck. Alright, well, we're not going to attack, so we'll just play Escort and pass the turn. Moldering Gem. Well, there's Meat Hook, so I guess we exile this because eventually they'll make a 5/5 with it. So we go Keys, fetch the Swamp. I guess I can technically attack here, right? Alright, combat. I mean, I'm just trading 2 for 2, though. I feel like I win the long game, so I just shouldn't. Yeah, okay. Let's not attack. Exercise, kill that. Another land. 5 mana Beastie. All right, let's make sure we get at least 1 sack out of Meat Hook. So let's play Role Model, and then no attacks, and then back to them. I want to get 1 sack out of it. Bashful attacks. So I can double block it, and then we only get blown out if they have a combat trick. Yeah, all right, block, block. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to block, because this can get lifelink in the long run, so we're going to want that. Coordinated clobbering on Reluctant Role Model. Sure. Wickerfolk Thresher. Jesus. All right, we might be too far behind. All right, we're not attacking anyway, so Meat Hook, done, trigger, sack the rat. They sacked Beastie. All right, so everything goes on the stack. So they manifest. This thing gets a trigger. Yeah, yield. Then they're obviously going to pay 3 life to prevent us from returning this to the field. Then I'll pay 3 to get the rat back. Wait, okay, so the finality counter, I don't actually know whether we get the thing or not. Okay, put Fear of Surveillance into play. And then we cannot attack here. Absolutely not. The finality counter, is it if it would die, you exile it? Or is it when it dies, exile it? I would assume it's if. So they're just attacking with Thresher. Okay, so block, block. All right, damage, escort, triggers go on the stack. Do I want to get escort back? Yes. And obviously they're not going to give me Thresher. Okay. Omnivorous Fly Trap, and now they have Delirium. Jesus. So what's this trigger do exactly? Distribute 2/1 counters among 1 or 2 creatures. Then if you have 6 types, double. Okay. So you don't double unless you have 6 types. Oblivious Bookworm. Discards a land. All right, well, we can't very well attack into this. 4/6. So Patched Plaything. Attack in the box. Over to them. 5 mana. What are they doing? Oh, emerge from the cocoon, get this dude back. Sure. All right, I'm perfectly happy to just have a staring contest as long, because eventually we'll find some like bigger payoffs. Like eventually we can maybe find Valgavoth or something. Bookworm. Of course, the longer we wait, I don't know. Can they get to 6 cards in their deck? Maybe. Innocuous Rat. All right, well, I'm not attacking, so play a rat. No attacks. Wary Watchdog. Surveils away Paranormal Analyst and does not attack. All right, let's resolve the Bookworm ability. Bins a land. All right, flip this up to our turn. All right, Bale Merkleech and pass. So I would assume that the Meat Hook Massacre gets back manifest creatures as long as their front side is actually a creature. 6 mana. What is this? Oh, just sure, wait room. So now they'll get to straight up draw a card off the Bookworm, and Cryptid Inspector will become bigger, and they make a 5/5. Puts threats around every corner in the graveyard. They now have 5 types. They're missing instant. All right, well, we drew a land. Back to them. They're attacking with this. Sure. So go to blocks. Let's block with Patch and attack in the box. I don't know how big this thing is going to be, whatever it is. And Hardened Escort. No, let's see. This is wrong. Cancel. So if this thing is bigger than a 5/5 when they flip it over, let's block here. I have to trade 2 things for it, at least. Here, here, and here. Let's block with the rat, too. I want to manifest, like, Rite of the Moth over. All right, yeah, so let's block with these. So they're putting attack in the box first and tapping a bunch of mana. It is a Balustrade Worm, so it's an 8/8. 2, 4, 8. Okay, I will actually trade for their thing. So it kills both of these. So then damage, and they can Delirium it back next turn. What a hit that was. So this one on the stack last, they have to decide, and obviously they're paying for it. So do I want to get attack in the box back? I guess I do. How do you have more stuff to play? How? Nope. Bookworm trigger, bins a land, sure. All right, well, we drew a forest. Back to them. This thing has trample, right? Yeah. Slavering Branch Snapper. So they're just setting up for next turn. This also has trample. So yeah, my board doesn't matter anymore. 4, 5, 6, 7. So even if we draw Valgavoth, we're still 1 mana short of actually being able to cast it. No attacks from them. Bookworm. This card's a forest. Well, we've drawn trash. So I assume they're going to attack us next turn. Can we survive the attack? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Back to them. 6 mana. So they're not getting the worm back. Another Branch Snapper. So they're just setting up for the big swing. I think the only way I can live is if I exactly draw Right of the Moth and then attack and surveil Valgavoth to the graveyard. Coordinated Clobbering, Eating Attack in the box. We drew Right of the Moth. Yeah, that's my only out. Combat. Attack with Fear of Surveillance and Rat. Is there any reason to attack with the Rat? I can manifest something. Nothing matters except Valgavoth. If I manifest Valgavoth, I can't flip it. All right, attack here. Surveil. It's Shepherding Spirits, sure. Been that. So they block. Yeah, our guy dies. So resolve, Meat Hook trigger, not paying for this one, and then we'll Right of the Moth on the Shepherding Spirits. Back to them. I cannot imagine they'll wait another turn before just reanimating Worm and attacking us. So that is going to be 5, 12, 19 trample, plus they can fly trap on one of them. So 21 in trample. Nope, they're just going to play Hospital Room. Okay. Did they just forget that they have a worm? I don't even understand why they're not attacking at this point. Growing Dread. They have 5 cards left in their deck. Okay, they're finally attacking, but not with everything. Triggers. Yeah, I have to imagine they just forgot that their worm can be activated because it makes no sense for them to play Hospital Room over just deliriuming the worm back. All right, so let's see. 9, 8, I have to block all of that, and I have to block this, and I can take 2 from the trap. So I can chump this. Whoops, wrong one. Chump this, and then we go 5 here. I think all the remaining trample kills me is the problem, right? Because we go block. So that absorbs. We take 3 with this here. So that's lethal, and then block, block, and we're taking 4, 8, and die. Yeah, there's no way we can. Oh, this is also attacking. Yeah, there's no way we can survive this hit. All right, yeah, we're dead. All right, get this out of here, get this out of here. Basics. All on the play. Valgavoth in our hand. All right, sure, but we'll keep. Swamp go. As far as I'm aware, we don't have a way of discarding it. Tap land. Another Right of the Moth. Well, these have been some pretty bad draws. All right, Reluctant Role Model go. The game has ended? What? Did they have to leave or something? I don't understand what just happened. Or did they just did they keep a hand that was mana screwed and didn't draw more lands and they're just like, oh, I'm not going to win this game? I don't understand what happened there. Okay, sure, keep. Swamp, go. They could feel the Valgavoth. Well, we got a Valgavoth again. All right, Forest Island. Well, we're just drawing lands, so I mean, I guess we'll get there eventually. 3, 7. All right, land number 3, not playing anything. Well, here's Hardened Escort. Is this going to be the Manifest card? I can't imagine they have nothing on 3. Okay, Cycle Slavering Branch Snapper, sure. Threat around every corner. All right. Puts Cautious Survivor in the graveyard, so this must be a creature that's even better. So with that being the case, I was going to say I'm not going to attack them because I just need to try to get to Valgavoth, but if I'm not even going to be able to block it anyway, then we are just going to go ahead and attack. I can't also believe how terrible our draws have been. They attack. Well, if it is a big creature, they're not flipping it. 5 mana, Bashful Beastie, sure. And another land. Well, we finally drew a thing. Not that it's good. Back to them. Hey, more expensive stuff. Another Bashful Beastie. Jesus Christ. Oh, and they're going to clobber something? Yeah. Uh-huh. Swing here. I guess this isn't a big thing. I don't understand how this cannot be a big thing. Unless they're just getting more stuff into play, like they just haven't had an opportunity to do it. All right. Another land. Play Shepherding Spirits. Back to them. And the problem is these trade and then they still get to manifest, which is such a bitch. And we're just so many turns away from actually casting Valgavoth. Yeah, swing, swing, block, trade. We still get hit for 5 and then they get to manifest. Puts Paranormal Analyst in the graveyard and they ramp. Oh, come on. You've got another giant thing. We're 3 turns away from even being able to cast Valgavoth, so we're just fucked. We're just completely fucked. And it's a land. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right. I can't believe this deck is not going to be at least a 2-1. We've just drawn nothing. Just jack shit the whole game. And they've just drawn unbelievably. I imagine we're just going to get hit with everything now, right? Yeah. Block, block. We go to 1, and then they still have 3 creatures. Oh, we're just gonna die here because something's gonna be flipped up. Oh, it's a branch snapper, of course. I can't fucking believe it. I can't fucking believe it. Look at this deck. We never even drew Shroud Stomper, ever. All right. Also, apparently Exercise is garbage, so just don't even bother with this card.